Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, BOMA. Please hit the subscribe button if you are just watching this video for the first time, or if you are seeing this beautiful face for the first time. I'll love it if you hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free. So let's dive right into this video. On today's video, I'll be telling you guys websites you could go in search of accommodation. Like I said before in my last video on tips on how to get accommodation, quite easy here in the UK. I said that accommodation is a thing, and who am I not to help you guys, find this accommodation easily so that all of us can be happy and live in the UK as one big happy family. So I'm going to be bringing you guys apps, or telling you guys about apps you can use to get accommodation easily right here in the UK. So one of the apps you all know is Rightmove. So Rightmove is a website you can easily navigate around. Once you download it, you can download on your Android, or you can download on your iPhone. Whichever phone you're using can get you Rightmove on your screen. So you open Rightmove and you can see the proximity of how far you want your accommodation to be from your school, depending on what city or wherever you are. So just put the city, you put the amount of you put how many bedroom you want, you put the location you want, and what else, the kind of house you want, if it's a terrace, if it's a bungalow, and Rightmove will just give you a list. It will actually show you pictures and list of houses in that particular specification that you have actually mentioned there. So it's one app I know that is really good when you're looking for accommodation right here in the UK. Then the second one is Zoopla. Yeah, if you go to Zoopla site, you actually find it quite easy to also navigate. I think it also works the same way Rightmove works. You just put in your location, how far or how many miles you want it to be away from your school or your job or whatever brought you right into the UK. Then you put the kind of accommodation you want, and it just brings up a list of all the houses that are in that particular specification, and you can just easily just pick one from there and send an email to the agency or the agent, and you continue your communication from there. So that's how Zoopla also works. Then another one again is Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is actually on our Facebook app. It's inside the Facebook app. If you go to your phone, go open your Facebook app, you look down on the screen. For people using Android, I think you see it's like a house. It's something that looks like a house diagram on your phone down there. Just open it. You can type accommodation, just like me that's staying in Middlesbrough now. You can type accommodation in Middlesbrough, and you see a lot of houses that will pop up. Sometimes these houses are actually owned by the landlord, so most of them put it out themselves without giving it to an agency. So it's easier for you to even communicate with the owners of the house through this means on Facebook. So that's one thing Facebook actually does. So Facebook too is one of those apps you can actually use to search for accommodation when you get into the UK. So the next one I'll be talking about is On The Market.com. On the market.com is another site you can use to look for accommodation, and this one too is also easy for you to get in touch with the landlord, whoever is. It's just like I own this accommodation and I'm renting it out myself, so it's easy for you to communicate to the landlord directly. Just like this, my accommodation I'm staying in right now, I checked on Rightmove and Zoopla and I couldn't find any. So I saw a lot, but I couldn't, I was on so much, the people that were on the queue for the house were so much that I didn't know if I would get picked for that accommodation. So this particular one I use on the market.com, and I was in communication directly with the landlord. If you watch my last video, I told you we had a one-on-one conversation with the landlord, and it was easy for him to bend rules just for us. So that's one thing about choosing accommodation here. If you want to easily get one, I think you should use apps that will actually make you have like a relationship or a communication, easy access to the landlord or the owner of the house. So on the market.com is also one site that you can use to search for house when you get right into the UK. Please don't forget, take these things down. Very necessary, very important. So the next one is Nutley Property. Yeah, this one too, you can also use it to search for accommodation, just like other sites. Search for accommodation, what you want, you put it out there, and it brings up whatever accommodation that is also available. Then we have spare room. Spare room, I think spare room is more like, is for people that want to stay in a shared apartment, where you want to stay in an apartment that is with people that have like minds. I don't know how I'm going to explain it. Let's assume now I'm a student and I have a pet, a cat. Now you are a student to come into the UK and you're looking for an accommodation with someone that actually can accommodate your dog or your cat too. So spare room gives you that option of meeting people that are like minds, people that are like you, people that want to stay together, that maybe you have maybe a smoking habit, and you know once you always go out of the house, or you're always opening the doors to go out of the house to smoke. So somebody that actually smokes too will actually meet you on spare room and say, okay, this is someone that smokes and I also smoke, so it's easy for us to, you know, coexist together without having so many issues. So abroad life just sweet. They just know how to bring up things that make people exist without problem and wahala. So that way you won't be having issues with your roommate or anybody. So that spare room app is just the best for you. Go to spareroom.com and you'll be able to find people that have like minds for you to rent accommodation with, or for you to stay with, you know. That's how spare room works. Then we have Amber Student. Amber Student for me is just strictly for students. If you go on Amber Students, you see a lot of rooms, a lot of shared apartments, a lot of studio rooms that are just for students. Everything about Amber Students app is just for students. So if you're coming in and you're not coming in with family, you're someone that just needs somewhere to lay your head very fast and quick, I think you should try Amber Students. This is not a sponsored ad or a paid post. I'm just doing this to help my brothers and my African sisters coming into the country to settle in. So this isn't sponsored at all. So the last one is going to be Gumtree. Gumtree, or they would like to say the last but not the least, is going to be Gumtree. Gumtree too is just like Facebook Market. It's one that you actually go there, put in the accommodation and the location, the city where you are. You will see houses pop up on Gumtree, and most times too it works like Facebook Market and on the market.com. So you see yourself communicating not just with an agent. Most times you might be lucky to run into the landlord, the owner of the house, actually advertising his house up for rent. So if you want to look for accommodation, please also try Gumtree. They might not have, like, Gumtree might not have lots of houses, but you might just be lucky that at the point you're opening your Gumtree app, the landlord is just dropping his house on the Gumtree app and you're the next person to just message him. So it's easier when you're messaging the landlord one-on-one. It's easier when the landlord sees you. It's easier to get the accommodation when you're the one in communication with the landlord. Sometimes the agent, being a bridge between you and the landlord, might not really get you what you want, because the agent at the point is in landlord's eye. So whoever he sees and feels like deserve the house is who the landlord gives the house, because he has been entrusted, the house has been entrusted, or the accommodation has been entrusted into the hands of the agent. So if you're lucky to find a house where you are in communication with the landlord yourself, I think it's going to help a lot for your chances of getting yourself an accommodation faster into the UK. Then there's one again, the estate management. I think so, the estate management. Now if you want to find accommodation, you can just Google for the estate management close to me. In short, take a walk to your city center, look for where you have the estate management. You see many of them there. You see what's this one we have that is very popular, Michael Poole, people like Michael Poole. You see a lot of them in your city center. Just walk into their offices and tell them your problem, tell them you're looking for accommodation, and you're going to get varieties of views and videos and all that, and you can just pick from there. Then the last one, the final one, which I always advise every couple that comes into the UK, is go to the Pakistan store. I will not emphasize on this too much. It's either you take it or you leave it. You see those Pakistan people, you see those Indians, you see those people you just walk and pass and say, oh, these people are not my skin color, or these people will not really understand me. My dear, they have their own community and their bond is very, very strong. If you're not the shy type, you see an Indian person selling something in a cake shop, walk up to them. If you go to the African store and you see there's a Pakistan man there or an Indian man there, walk up to them. You go to the butcher, ask the locals in that place, please, I'm looking for accommodation. Is there a means for me to get a house? Don't only depend on the apps here. And that's my major advice for people that are going to be coming into the UK. Don't depend on only the apps. Go around, mingle, ask people, go to a bar. You can see, you know, don't make people scared of you. Don't make them, you know, don't make them scared. You know, you approaching people here is not, you know, it's not that easy, but do it in a very subtle manner, in a very kind manner. You can walk up to a bartender, anybody, as in absolutely anybody, and just tell them, please, I and my family have been in an Airbnb for long. I really need this accommodation. How am I going to get it? It's going to shock you that Indian will be the one to help you. To shock you that man that is butchering meat that you just looked past is going to tell you, oh, I have a 1-bedroom somewhere. Can you manage it for 6 months? After that, you can search for a house and move out. It's as simple as ABCD. I hope this video helps somebody out there. And I'd really appreciate if you hit the like button. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll take me to 1,000 subscribers. God bless you for watching. Please have a wonderful day. If there are still more things you want me to come out here and talk about, especially for those of you in the Middlesbrough here, please leave it in the comment section and we are going to chew it and we're going to handle it together. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Thank you all for watching.